करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुकारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पूतेशयानम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. This one shloka can make you so strong, very strong. So here it says that Udhare Datmanatmanam, which means that from your own Atma to the own Atma, lift yourself. Always lift yourself from by yourself only. And Natmanama Vasadayat. Avasadayet, na avasadayet. Na avasadayet means do not put yourself down ever. Do not degrade yourself ever. Don't lower yourself ever. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur. Why? Why you should do this? Because the self is the best friend. And then the opposite, Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Otherwise, if you're putting yourself down, the self can be the biggest enemy also. So whenever you feel down, you don't need to ask for other people to cajole you. You don't need to ask for other people's help or praise or support to cajole you to lift yourself. Other people can praise you. You can always say some praises you can take from other people. It is not to lift yourself. It is to get them into a praising mode. So lift yourself, always take help. Now, anyone who wants to progress on any path in yoga, in business, in your job, on the spiritual path, any path, you have to get this one shloka, which is like lift yourself by yourself only, because yourself is your best friend, or it can be Ripu Ratmanaha. Ripu is your enemy also. Bandhur is friend, Ripu Ratmanaha. It can be your friend also or your enemy also. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. Now, these two shlokas, this last shloka number 5, Udaredatmana Manmanam, is very linked to this particular shloka. That is why here he says Bandhurat manastasya, because the self alone is your friend. Yenat maivat manajitah. But whose friend is the self? Only that person's friend who has won over his mind, his intellect. The self can be a friend of only that person who has jitah, who has won over the mind, the senses, the intellect, the body, all this, then the self is your friend. Anat manastu shatrutve. Otherwise, if you have not conquered this, then it is going to be your biggest enemy, and it will act like a varte tat maiva shatruvat. It means the self will stand as a position of your biggest foe. So indirectly or directly, he is saying that come back to winning over your mind, come back to winning over your senses, come back to winning over your intellect. And this way, your self can be your biggest friend. But what happens if the self is your biggest friend? Then he goes to, it is like goes back to shloka number 5, where he says that because if your self is your biggest friend, then you can lift yourself, you can uplift yourself anytime, because it is your friend, and don't take help of anyone else to lift yourself, he's saying here.
मनोरस्कं वनमाला विराजितम् शङ्खचक्रधरं देवं कृष्णं वन्दे